All right, eighth grade, almost nearing the end of the week here. Gonna do some quick notes on Thursday afternoon. Today's notes are gonna be dealing with creating and solving algebraic equations. We did this last year, so hopefully it'll be review. Um, so go ahead and put your name at the top. Today's date, November 7th, 2013. And this is gonna be page 22 of your notes. And literally this is going to take us about 3 minutes. So, create an algebraic equation. We've got 10 added to a number is 20. And the key word that we want to look for is is. Because what is represents is equals. So we have this side of the equation that we got to deal with, and then we've got that side of the equation. So 10 added to a number. So x is going to be our number. We're going to add 10 to it, and that is or equals 20. And that's it. Here we've got 25 is, so 25 is going to equal 5 less than an amount. X is our amount, and there we represent 5 less. Now we're going to create an algebraic equation and solve. So we have 21 is 3 of a quantity. So we're going to have 21 equals, and then 3 of a quantity. Of in math means multiplication. So we're going to multiply a quantity by 3. So 21 equals 3x is the equation. Now we need to solve for x. So we divide each side by 3, and we're left with 7 equals x. And then example number 4, 1/3 of a number is 15, so something is going to be equaling 15, and that something is 1/3 of a number. So here's our number, and that's one way to represent a third of a number, or it could be written as x divided by 3 equals 15. If you were to do it with the fraction, we would need to divide each side by a third in order to solve, which is the same thing as taking 15 and multiplying it by 3, so you get 45 there. And if you solve it the other way, you would multiply each side by 3, and you would get that x equals 45. All right, scrolling down, we've got 4 word problems that we're going to make sense out of. We'll need to create an algebraic equation, and then we'll need to solve. So Ruben and Tariq have 245.5 downloaded minutes of music. If Ruben has 132 minutes, how many belong to Tariq? So total, we know that they have 245.5. And it says write and solve an addition equation. So our total minutes at 245.5 is equal to the number of minutes that Ruben has, which is 132, plus the number of minutes that Tariq has that we don't know yet. So that would be our equation, and we need to isolate the variable, so we're going to subtract 132 from each side, and we're left with 113.5 minutes belong to Tariq. All right, next problem says that Megan's bowling score was 39 points less than Charmaine's, and Megan's score was 109. So write a subtraction equation and solve for Megan's bowling score. All right, so we know that Megan's score was 109, and that score is 39 points less than Charmaine's. So we would represent that as C minus 39 to show that that is 39 less than Charmaine's. Now we need to go ahead and solve for the variable, so we add 39 to each side, and we know that Megan's bowling score was 148. Number 6 says Vicente and some friends shared the cost of a package of blank CDs. The package cost $24 and each person contributed $6. How many people shared the cost of the CDs? Write a multiplication equation and solve. All right, so we know that the total was 24. And each person contributed $6. So if we want to figure out how many people, we would take the $6 and multiply that by x. And then go ahead and solve for x. And we know that 4 people ended up sharing in the cost of those CDs. All right, last example, number 7. The weight of an object on the moon is 1/6 that of its weight on Earth. If an object weighs 35 pounds on the moon, write and solve a division equation to find its weight on Earth. All right, so if an object weighs 35 on the moon, we know that is 1/6 of the weight on Earth. So here we can divide each side by 1/6, or we can multiply each side by the reciprocal of 1/6, which is 6. I'm going to choose to do that. So then I know that 210 pounds would be the weight on Earth if somebody weighed 35 pounds on the moon. All right, at this time, go ahead and flip over to the back side of the page, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 examples for you to work on. Do your best that you can. Try to come up with an equation for each one, and then we'll go over them tomorrow in class and make sure everybody's good to go. All right, have a good night. See you later. Bye.